Question.
Answer.
1,164. What one policy would you try and sneak into the budget?
Into the budget?
Yeah.
Policy?
Yeah.
Sneak.
You're going to go through every word.
What?
I would probably say
Paperclip.
prison
attach it.
reformation.
What?
Prison reformation.
Love it.
Universal health care.
Death to Republicans?
Campaign finance reform.
Send Donald Trump back to first grade like Billy Madison.
Oh, I feel bad for those kids. Don't let him with the regular kids like they did Billy Madison, though. Keep him
Can
away
you
from
imagine Donald Trump on a field trip? Yeah, I've been to a similar place. Yeah, but that's yeah. I know this.
God, I hate
Ox
that
does
man
not
so
like
much.
protesters. Any protester blocking a public road is open game. That would be a touchy one. Although saying I think it'd be less
Well, I mean,
touchy than killing all the
kind
Republicans.
of. I think it's unconstitutional. It's like an amendment that kind of speaks to that, but whatever. We all want shit.
Yeah, well, it's been amended 27 times before. It'll be all right.
I think 27 is a very reasonable number.
I thought it was meant to be a living document. When was the last amendment?
I mean, you got to take the first 10 amendments and just leave them to the side because they really kind of started on day one.
Well, and as a living document in America, a living being in America, naturally, all of your rights are determined by rich white people.
That's pretty much true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wasn't meaning to actually mean America as a budget. I meant to just a random governmental budget. Apart from that, you're all Americans, so.
Is there an international budget that I'm unaware of?
No. I just meant a government budget. But taking into account the Constitution wasn't really relevant to it. Because not other countries share your Constitution.
If that's the case, then a new motorcycle for me. That's in my budget.
If it's not in America, it doesn't matter.
What kind of motorcycle?
USA.
Oh, your whole panel is American today.
Just saying.
Jim, what kind of motorcycle?
And David Martin from the Midwest.
A real motorcycle or a Harley?
A what?
A real motorcycle or a Harley?
Harleys are awful. I don't know what the whole idealism behind the Harley Davidson. Like, why people are so
they're big, noisy, obnoxious, and piggish. They're just like most American men.
They're awful people. I mean, they're not even made in the U.S. anymore.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. And the parts that make them up aren't even made.
I'm from Milwaukee, and I used to have about a dozen customers who were engineers from Harley, and other people who were assembly line workers and machinists. They are built in America. They're built in freaking Milwaukee.
Harleys are trash.
Yes, they are.
I encourage you to look at it. There might be some places where they are assembled in the U.S., but by and large, they are not. They're imported. The parts are imported. Personally, I like Hondas. I like shaft-driven motorcycles. I have one that I've put 40,000 miles plus on, and haven't done anything but add a battery to it and gas.
I wonder
Harleys. I can always tell where a Harley has been because they leave an oil spot.
I wonder if that's been since the steel industry crashed in 2007 that switched over. Then there was a manufacturer here who made what were they like the hydraulic pistons that they made them for Harley, and they closed down, and those jobs did go overseas. So there are at least some pieces that would be made outside the U.S.
Oh, well, sure. And for every vehicle, there's international part sourcing for everything.
Right. So yeah, they could be.
Okay. It says that they're assembled in Wisconsin, Missouri, and Pennsylvania, but the parts are from Italy, Austria, Australia, Japan, Mexico, China.
Mm-hmm. just like in a Chevy or a Ford or a BMW or.
Well, sure, but the only reason that people buy Harleys is because they're an American product, they're an American company. But I mean, there's
nothing made in America anymore.
Yeah,
it's a misconception.
Right, let's get off Harleys. Brian says the biggest budget problem is things that are needed need to be snuck in. Things that should be questionable are taken for granted. That's very true. Infinite Muir said tax the rich and redistribute to the poor. That seems like quite a big policy for an attachment. Now they're arguing about bikes in the chat. See what you've done?
Belgium's fault.
Harmonica Man says better ventilation in elevators. Some thoughts of terrorism.
Okay.
Ooh, people who fart in elevators should go to jail.
We could put that in the policy, yeah.
No, I think it should just be like automatic, like death sentence.
Well, no, I don't think that bad.
That's very cruel. That's very extreme.
No.
And we all have gas from time to time. You know?
Look, I have rights, and they invaded them.
Not breathing your farts. It's high up there.
High up there.
Oh no! Right.
You can at least not go to jail for beating them.
You're not going to take a libertarian stance on the farts. That's where we're drawing the line in the sand.
Yeah, that's.
Your right to release noxious fumes stops at my nostrils.
Yeah.
The FFASS.
What?
For the freedom from freedom from farts association and a stinky stuffer, Susan.
They're going to make an amendment that says you have a right to fart wherever you like.
Well, that kind of goes back to where we're talking about with the smoking. I think farting and smoking are in other people's
Faces.
Air, yeah, is in public air spaces, yeah. You can fart on your own property as much as you want, and that's fine. You smoke on your own property too. But once you start farting on my property or in public property that my taxes are paying for, then that.
But would that be fair though to make a law that only affects men?
Good women don't. I'll forget that.
That's terrible. Right.
You're the only one who got it.
The next question, I think.
Okay.
Question.
She's back. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Can we let Amanda speak something to the budget first?
We could do, because I haven't asked her.
Oh, yeah. Amanda hasn't answered the budget question. And you never let her answer a question. So
Yeah,
no.
and did he even answer? So
Yes,
you're way more important than he is.
that's why I'm the actual Dave. I would say that at least a third of every house has to get its energy from alternative energies for at least 10 years, moving on in increments of another,
You're being far too reasonable here.
Get up
You
to
just ban coal.
60% after 10 years and then 100% after 20. How am I being reasonable?
You just ban coal. Ban fossil fuels.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Ban non-renewable energy sources.
Yeah.
It is a bench. Okay, I would like to figure out a step-down plan to ban.
This is the
Yeah.
reasonable thing.
Outright.
This is why you've got the other side that's screaming, "It's all a hoax," and you're being reasonable.
But wait. What about clean, beautiful coal? Right?
Right.
Those jobs are coming back. Yeah.
No, but we just don't have the infrastructure to be able to handle that at the moment, regardless, let alone on an individual basis, including
a few states without power for a few months while they sort it out is not a problem.
Okay.
I think if we legalized anything but a posh accent in the U.S., then that would probably fix our problem.
No one can object.
There you go.
Really?
Or we could go with the no longer having lifetime appointments to the Supreme Court and start putting, term limits on Congress.
That would stem some
Same.
lobbying. Yeah.
Oh, also get rid of fucking lobbying.
Yeah, I would love to get rid of lobbying, and I would love to get rid of you serve in Congress, you fuck up your entire 2 to 6 years. Why do you get paid for the rest of your goddamn life?
That's a very interesting question.
Why-
That would be because they vote on what they get paid.
If you eliminate lobbying, you do realize that lobbying means to go visit your congressman and tell him what you're interested in him passing.
Because
Corporate
you need
lobbying.
individual lobbying is a problem. You need to do away with professional lobbying.
Corporate lobbying, yeah.
Corporate
Okay.
lobbying, yeah.
All right, I can live with that.
Big pharma, big oil, those kind of
Citizens United.
have everybody in their pocket. Yeah.
How about just ban corporations after a certain size too?
Corporations
I did
and
wonder whether or not that might be a viable option. And we're getting serious.
Forcing them into a employee-owned co-op when they reach a certain size.
Well, they go out their way to avoid it then, which is good.
Are we talking about a budget item or an amendment?
Right now, we're talking about bringing down the entire government and starting again. Basically,
Yeah,
the entire.
We're going to rebuild society right here, the six of us. It's going to be a perfectly balanced capitalist and socialist society, and we're gonna structure it from the ground up right here, right now. Let's get this underway.
But we also said that we would do it our own way, like we would do it secularly too. So we could take, form our own little secular nation with alternative energies. We wouldn't have to replace anything, so we could start with alternative energies.
I think we should ban religion.
Well, yeah,
Every religion.
the point is that we're all
And it-
secular. So there's no
I
need-
would be up. I
Including
could
this
be
flying spaghetti
persuaded.
monster.
I could be persuaded to ban organized religion. I think.
Yes.
I don't think you could ban religion.
No. You
Do the
can't
same
ban-
thing we do with the
Yes, the companies you could get a certain size, so people could still get together and group together. But there's only a certain size; they can only get so much power.
So,
Yeah.
Well, they should do
So
what
when
they
you
used to
say
do.
ban, do you mean tax churches or they must come down? You cannot congregate.
They should
No,
go
I think
back
you
to
can.
the
I
original-
think the issue you've got is you need to stop them getting. You can have a church that's got 200 or 300 people. So a church in a community is totally protected. But churches that have thousands of people, churches that come together, is when you're then congregating power that the people that are members at the bottom have absolutely no clue what the rest of the organization is doing.
Mormons.
No, just
of them.
Joel Osment.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.